Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Craig here. We wanted to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Jaws in many different ways. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is breaking down this Mondo capsule collection that is just now going up for pre-order. They've got these really, really cool items. There's stuff that like kind of leans into the toy side of things. There's vinyl, and then of course there's a poster, which Mondo has a very long relationship with incredible Jaws art. So we're just excited to break this stuff down. We wanted to kind of like go the extra mile and really give this stuff the time of day because, Jacob, I know more than anything, you're just excited that Jaws is like, it's in the news right now, like 50 years. This is pretty insane.
It's about time Jaws gets its due. You know what I mean? Like
finally.
Enough.
No, it's good. It's good. Lots of stuff happening this year, and I'm really happy to be like there for all of it and on the forefront of the news and the products and just as much as we can be.
Jacob, you are not only a huge Jaws fan, and we all are. I mean, I think everybody in our circles, it's kind of an agreed upon thing, right, Abigail, that Jaws is objectively like the greatest movie ever made. Is it not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the cornerstone film. Like it holds things together, and it set a template for like summer blockbusters that I think, I mean, it was singular in that. I love looking back at the history of like the release of Jaws in theaters and how the lines were so long, and how the excitement was like palpable and everywhere. And still watching it now when I go back and enjoy it in the summertime, it's just a great movie. Like it's a solid movie. I'd say it's perfect, and it's something that deserves more merchandise and more material, in my opinion.
Yeah. For sure. And the first thing we're going to talk about this week is this brand new designer vinyl figure. I mean, it's soft vinyl, which is obviously like that's kind of the wheelhouse of Mondo as far as collectibles goes, whether it's Godzilla or original, designs or Stranger Things or horror like Michael Myers and everything else. Mondo has kind of cemented themselves as one of the really only American companies doing justice to this soft vinyl Sofubi world. Jacob, when you first heard that they were going to do this Bruce figure and that it was going to be like a James Groman design, like for the uninitiated, like what does that mean to this part of the toy collecting community?
Well, the first thing that means is that it's going to be big. It's going to be a big toy. Like physically, it's going to be big. James Groman only makes big toys. James Groman is kind of a mythical creature. He's like a cryptid. He's like a legend of
right.
The sculpting. Like his designs are the best. He always knows exactly. He has a really distinctive style, but he knows exactly like what traits to like focus in on to make something his own creation. And he did a Godzilla figure with Mondo pretty recently, and it's one of my favorite Mondo pieces. It's big, it's beautiful, and it's really striking.
So this is a 16-inch long.
You can't make a small Bruce.
You can't make a small shark.
Nobody wants that.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I'm just going to flat out ask you.
Yeah.
Is this the greatest Jaws toy that's ever been made?
I can easily answer that question. Yes, it is. And I mean, I've been collecting Jaws my whole life. Listen, I don't know if you can tell what my shirt says, Craig. Abby, yeah. I don't know if you guys can read this. It says I jumped off the Jaws bridge.
Yeah.
I have jumped off the Jaws bridge, and so have both of you. And honestly, do you want to listen to somebody's Jaws opinions who hasn't jumped off the Jaws bridge?
I would.
Who's not sitting in front of a production used Jaws barrel right now?
There you go.
There are a lot of Jaws things out there I've been collecting for a long time, but something that's like unique and is a figure with an interchangeable head, like that kind of stuff just does not exist for Jaws. Like out of the gate, it is amazing.
Jaws came out before Star Wars, so it was before like toys were tied in with movies and everything was toyetic. So it sort of missed that window, and it's really nice to see accessories like this, and a prop playset like the cage. and a leg. There's a lot of really awesome
A
stuff.
leg?
You can get
Yeah.
Leg.
Yeah.
So there's different ways that you can display it. So inside the shark cage is kind of like the option I'm going to go for, because it's kind of like it's part of the display. It makes
like
it
a
more
stand.
fun. It's like a stand.
Yeah.
But it really does come with a bunch of accessories. So like Abby mentioned, there's this alternate head. Now, Jacob, is it a correct observation that this second head with all of the scarring, is this from Jaws 2?
Yes, it is from Jaws 2, which also
When he bites the wire.
Yeah, well, the wire. Well, the shark earlier in the movie gets some burn scars because a boat blows up, and this also comes with the wire to put in its mouth. The shark from Jaws 2, I think, when you get into Jaws 3 and 4, those sharks all 4 sharks are distinctively their own shark.
They're different sharks.
Some people don't. Some people may not recognize that, but the shark from Jaws 2 is the closest to the shark from the first movie, though it is generally accepted that the shark in Jaws 2 is a female.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
okay.
And Bruce is a male, as you can tell by his claspers, which are the male shark sex organ, and he has those here. So,
all right.
Nice.
You didn't know you were also getting a biology.
Information you can only get here.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to leave this review in this preview smarter, which is really cool. It also comes with the barrels, obviously very, significant part of the iconography of Jaws. Yeah. And then other accessories that you can literally just have displayed on the side or displayed in his mouth. Ben Gardner's head, the severed head, that is just one of the great jump scare moments of all time in all of cinema, finally getting the action figure toy representation that it needs. Mm-hmm. You've got the tank there, you've got the leg, you've got the wire. What I've been trying to figure out for this piece, it's such a showstopper, such a centerpiece. I feel like this is not toy room Jaws collection. This is living room, possibly dining room table centerpiece.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. It would look great behind glass in a glass case.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, I know. It would look great just on a coffee table. Absolutely stunning for a million reasons. And it definitely doesn't need to be amongst all the other toys. I feel like having it set aside, but it's just like a big move, a power move as a toy.
It's just a big
power move.
Big power move. Be like, check this out.
Wow, did you hear about Abigail?
Just making moves.
She bought a Mondo Jaws shark.
You
Jacob,
might create a buzz.
How do you display it though, or do you get 2?
Well,
these are real questions.
I did. So 2's always a possibility. I mean, I'm gonna display mine with the original with Bruce. Bruce is the one who gets the barrels and in the tank and the cage. So I'm gonna leave it original, but I'll take that second head and I'll put it somewhere amongst my Jaws stuff, and it will just look like it almost looks like a thing on its own, just having it. Yeah.
One thing I love that Mondo does is they really give credit to their artists. This is not something that is always the standard at toy companies. I think that's really an important piece of the puzzle when you're collecting high-end action figures, toys, collectibles. These are truly pieces of art, and the amount of time and energy that individuals put into creating this. When you see them in person, if you've never bought a Mondo figure, or you've never had that pleasure of opening up one of their 1/6 scale figures, the level of detail and love and care that goes into these sculpts, as well as the paint jobs and everything else, it's really it's kind of a different level of collecting. So I'm glad Jaws is getting that treatment. That's what excites me about this. Can you from a artist point of view, walk me through the way that this is painted? Because there's something about it that I can't personally articulate where I go, oh yeah, that's Bruce from Jaws. I can tell the way that the blue fades into the gray, fades into the white, into the blood red. Why does that tell me, the layperson, that what I'm looking at is a Jaws collectible, not just a great white shark?
Well, I don't think it's just the painting that does that for you. I'm glad that you realize that is like what a great white shark looks like, but it's not just. It is not just that. It's the shape of the head.
Okay,
that is the main thing. Great white sharks, if you look them up, they all are fairly similar looking, but this was a 25-foot mechanical shark, so when you make it something bigger, it's bigger all over. The mouth gets bigger, the jowls get bigger, the stomach gets bigger. And then you also had the water. This thing was not really built to be in salt water, so it kind of bloated up a little bit. The skin absorbed water. So you end up with a creature that is like unique looking. And it's partly like the eye placement and the way that piece of the shark's head kind of curves out a little bit. Bruce has jowls, which he only has because it was hiding mechanics underneath it. And then he just had like a huge mouth. So those like subtle designs and curves to his body are what make him stand out as Bruce and not just a great white shark. Mm-hmm. And it's always what makes me nervous whenever I know toys are coming or posters are coming or something, because it's really easy to just slap a great white shark on it and call it Jaws. And that's not Jaws, but this is. Mm-hmm. Like, they did the research, made the teeth right, gave him the jowls. He has the big fat head, the eyes, and the shape of the snout. It's all where it should be.
And what's interesting too, and kind of like Jaws in general, like there's happy accidents that happen along the way of that production that make that movie what it is. Like, we all know the shark's not working, and you were supposed to see the shark a lot more than you end up, seeing.
There's interviews with Joe Alves, who was the art designer, and he hated the jowls. Wow. He hated it because they weren't supposed to be there. And now, there's interviews where he looks back and he's like, yeah, well, now that's like a defining, feature of this shark. So,
right.
Is that the pot roast that we're seeing?
It is. It is his wife's holiday roast.
The holiday roast has like a knife.
The holiday roast. Yep.
Yeah,
it's got the big hook through it.
That's incredible. That's the kind of detail that I want to see. I like
$3,000 buys awful lot of roasts.
Well, and also, I feel like this is the summer of Ben Gardner. Finally,
it is. Yeah, no, it really is.
So yeah, like Abby said, you got the roast there. You've got the wire. You've got the barrels. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece. I cannot wait.
Yeah, storytelling options.
Already ordered mine. Cannot wait to get my hands on this. And guys, I love it. We're gonna be back over the next couple of weeks covering the rest of the Mondo capsule collection. Super, super cool stuff, including those records. I know we're all vinyl collectors, as well as a new poster. So guys, the stuff's available now. Check it out at mondoshop.com. Limited edition, only available till July 18th, 2025. Jacob, I'll give you the final word.
Yeah, I just think if you're any kind of Jaws fan, like, it might be, if you don't get this, you're missing out on, I think, something special. And, there's, you got options for Jaws stuff right now because it's the 50th. The James Groman Godzilla, it is one of my favorite Godzilla pieces I own. And that, I have a lot of Godzilla stuff. So these things are beautiful. They are like works of art. And if you can go to a convention or Comic-Con and see this stuff, and I wonder if they're going to have this on display at Comic-Con in a couple of weeks. I bet they will.
So. I hope so.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So, yeah, just check them out and just bite the bullet or bite the scuba tank and buy this thing.
Jump the shark. Buy this
thing. Kate goes in the water. Credit card goes in the water.
Have some. Yes, have some.